Today we dive into a recent CNN presidential debate where the former US President Donald Trump made over 30 false claims,
many of which have been previously debunked by CNN and other fact-checkers. These assertions spanned a wide range of topics and have raised concerns about the spread of misinformation in the current presidential campaign. Several of Trump's claims were not new and have been debunked in the past. For instance, he asserted that some Democratic-led states allow babies to be executed after birth, a baseless claim repeatedly debunked by medical professionals and fact-checkers. This inflammatory statement plays on emotional responses and distorts complex issues around late-term abortion, which is rare and typically occurs due to severe medical complications. Trump also claimed that every legal scholar and everybody in general wanted Roe v. Wade overturned, a statement that ignores the deeply divided opinions among legal scholars and the public. Roe v. Wade, the landmark Supreme Court decision that legalized abortion nationwide, has been a contentious issue for decades. While some legal scholars, activists have advocated for its overturning, others staunchly defend it, arguing it protects women's reproductive rights. Additionally, Trump stated there were no terror attacks during his presidency, which is false as there were several terrorist incidents in the US during his term. Notable incidents include the 2017 New York City truck attack and the 2018 Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. Such statements not only rewrite history, but also dishonor the victims of these tragedies and undermine the efforts of law enforcement and intelligence agencies that work to prevent such attacks. He also claimed that Iran didn't fund terror groups during his presidency, despite continued support for various militant groups throughout his term. The US State Department has long designated Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism, and reports have consistently indicated that Iran provides support to groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. Trump's assertion overlooks the complex geopolitical landscape and the persistent challenges in curbing state-sponsored terrorism. Trump asserted that the US has provided more aid to Ukraine than Europe has, overlooking the substantial support from European nations. While the US has indeed been a significant contributor to Ukraine, European countries collectively have provided extensive aid in various forms, including financial assistance, humanitarian aid, and military support. This misrepresentation undermines a collaborative international effort to support Ukraine in the face of aggression. He claimed that President Biden referred to black people as super predators, a term infamously used by Hillary Clinton in the 1990s, not Biden. This claim is part of a broader attempt to paint Biden as racially insensitive, despite Biden's long-standing political career, which includes significant efforts in civil rights legislation. Such falsehoods distort public perception and detract from genuine discussions on race and justice. Furthermore, Trump asserted that Biden is planning to quadruple people's taxes, a claim without basis in Biden's proposed tax policies. Biden's tax proposals have focused on increasing taxes for the wealthiest Americans and corporations, not the general populace. Misrepresenting tax policies can cause unnecessary fear and confusion among voters, impacting their economic decisions and trust in government plans. He also claimed that then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 National Guard troops for the US Capitol on January 6, 2021, an inaccurate statement as the decision-making around National Guard deployment involved multiple officials. The events of January 6 are under thorough investigation, and mischaracterizing actions taken by officials can hinder understanding of what transpired and accountability for those responsible. Trump stated that Americans don't pay the cost of his tariffs on China and other countries, while studies have shown these tariffs led to increased costs for American consumers and businesses. Tariffs, effectively a tax on imported goods, often result in higher prices for consumers and disruptions for businesses reliant on global supply chains. Trump's claim disregards the economic impact and the nuanced reality of international trade policies. He claimed that Europe accepts no American cars, which is false as American cars are sold in Europe, though they face different regulations and tariffs. Trade policies and standards differ between regions, and while American cars are present in European markets, they must meet specific requirements. This claim oversimplifies international trade dynamics and misleads the public on the challenges and successes of American industries abroad. Trump also claimed he got the Veterans' Choice Program through Congress, when in fact this program was signed into law by President Obama in 2014, though Trump did sign an expansion of it. Veterans' Choice aimed to improve healthcare access for veterans by allowing them to seek care outside the VA system under certain conditions. While Trump's administration did enhance the program, the original legislation predated his presidency, a fact that should be acknowledged to give credit where it is due. He reiterated the false claim that fraud marred the results of the 2020 election, despite numerous audits and court cases upholding the election's integrity. Persistent claims of widespread voter fraud have been thoroughly investigated and debunked, with no evidence supporting them. These assertions undermine democratic processes and erode public trust in the electoral system. In addition to these repeated falsehoods, Trump introduced new misleading claims. He claimed that the US currently has its biggest budget deficit, when the largest budget deficit in US history occurred under Trump in 2020 due to pandemic-related spending. The economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic led to unprecedented federal spending to support individuals and businesses, resulting in a significant budget deficit. He also asserted that the US currently has its biggest trade deficit with China, though the record trade deficit with China occurred during Trump's presidency. Trade deficits are influenced by various factors, including economic policies and global market conditions, and Trump's administration saw substantial deficits with China despite aggressive trade measures. Trump's numerous false claims during the CNN presidential debate highlight the importance of fact-checking and media literacy. As the presidential campaign progresses, it remains crucial for voters to critically evaluate the information presented by candidates and rely on verified sources for accurate information. In an era where misinformation can spread rapidly, maintaining a well-informed electorate is essential for the health of democracy. Trump's numerous false claims during the CNN presidential debate highlight the importance of fact-checking and media literacy. As the presidential campaign progresses, it remains crucial for voters to critically evaluate the information presented by candidates and rely on verified sources for accurate information. In an era where misinformation can spread rapidly, maintaining a well-informed electorate is essential for the health of democracy. Given the extent and frequency of these falsehoods, it is evident that Trump's candidacy poses a significant risk to the integrity of the electoral process and the informed decision-making of the American public. The propagation of such misinformation undermines trust in democratic institutions and distracts from addressing the pressing issues facing the nation. Therefore, allowing Trump to run for another term would only perpetuate this cycle of deception and distraction. In contrast, President Biden has demonstrated commitment to truth, transparency, and addressing the real challenges faced by Americans. His policies and proposals are rooted in factual analysis and a genuine concern for the well-being of all citizens. By supporting Biden for a new term, the American people can make a choice that prioritizes honesty, integrity, and effective governance. It is imperative that voters recognize the dangers of electing a leader who consistently distorts the truth and instead rally behind a candidate who offers a path forward based on reality and reason. Supporting Biden for the new term is not just a vote for a specific individual, but a vote for the principles of democracy, truth, and responsible leadership.